We're at a cornfield in Crawfordsville, Indiana, where we're here with Joe Mills. Joe, a pleasure. Thank you for allowing us to visit with you and your farm. Folks, I have not liked what I've seen to date, traveling from Cincinnati all the way north into Muncie and now here going west into Indiana. Joe, we've seen a lot of moisture, man.
Yeah.
It's ugly.
Yeah.
And it sounds like this area, and you mentioned earlier Lafayette, Champaign, also northern Indiana, right. Same thing?
Yeah. Yeah, from what I hear and from what I've seen, you get north of Lafayette, it's very, very wet. If you hop on the interstate and head west to Champaign, it's very, very wet. Out past there, I can't tell you from personal experience, but north and northwest, it's wet. But for about an hour south of Champaign, it looks really good. But nothing around here is going to be like last year.
Right.
Between 10 and 15 inches in the month of June.
Wow.
Is what we've had.
Wow. And that typically your average here is what, 3-4?
Yeah. I mean, nothing like this.
Right. And weather looks continue to be wet?
10-day forecast from today. Every other day's got a chance of rain or a thunderstorm.
So this corn here looks decent. Some of the better corn we've seen. When did you plant this?
This will be around the first part of May.
Okay. Yeah. And is that early for you, or would you like to maybe in April?
We try to get in the last week of April, maybe. Try to catch that May 1st, 2nd window. Some guys didn't have a choice but to plant late. We had to switch some things around later on because of the weather. But overall, I can't complain too much. I feel real fortunate that we've got our side dressing done. There's several guys that don't.
Right.
I would say for the conditions that we've had that I'm happy with the shape we're in.
Now, plant population, what are you working here?
We shot for 35,000 this year.
Okay.
We had 32 last year, and with the perfect growing conditions, we just ran out of cob. Okay. So we wanted to go ahead and ramp that up this year, and it'll be interesting to see how it comes out.
And what variety are you using here?
We use 3 different companies, and it's all conventional corn, all non-GMO corn.
Okay.
We do business with DeKalb and Spectrum Seed, which is a local company here, kind of picking up steam.
Okay.
And Dairyland, and I guess 4 because Pro Harvest Seeds too.
Okay. And so last year, did you have a record yield?
It was very, very close.
Okay.
Last year was actually just a tick under the year before.
Okay.
And some of that's chalked up to a couple new farms that we rented that were wet farms. We normally strip till. Those fields didn't get strip tilled till the spring. It was a little bit wet, and we didn't get consistent seeding, spacing, and depth on that.
Right.
So our emergence was a little off.
Right. So no bin buster this year?
No bin buster this year. Last year we were scrounging up, how are we going to haul this to the elevator, or where can we rent some more bins?
Sure.
This year, I don't think so.
Okay. What do you think? If you were to guess on yield, drop a 10?
20, 25.
125.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
No problem. We're back with the hippie farmer. He's known as the hippie farmer on Twitter, by the way, and his real name is Joe Mills, and we're in one of his soybean fields. And Joe, we just looked at your cornfields. This looks like a later planted bean field here.
Yeah, we got going on the beans a little bit later than we normally wanted to. That was going to be the middle of May, but just some of the weather events where we had to take a break.
Yep.
Normally we'd like to get out there 1st of May as well.
Right. Now the market is concerned because of all this moisture we've talked about, that there's a lot of acres that won't get planted, particularly in the very southern part of Missouri, Kansas, even parts of Illinois. What are you hearing out there? Did a lot of farmers get their beans in?
Most guys around here did. I've heard the same thing about the areas you mentioned. There are some fields that I've seen, not quite in river bottoms, but close to them, and I think they got planted, but then it rained, and nothing came up.
Okay.
It was really, really saturated. And here, the beans concern me more than the corn. Normally in these type of soils out here, we're looking at 50 to 60 bushels. I just don't see the upper end of that happening. I'll be really, really happy with 50 this year.
And so are these beans, do they have, a lot of these beans have wet feet?
Yeah, most of them do. They're not super saturated. We don't have a lot of ponds in our bean fields. The no-till and the cereal rye has helped infiltrate that water, but it's still concerning to me just to see how it's going to turn out, especially with the forecast we have.
So you think 5% drop in yield?
Could be, 5 to 10% maybe.
Yeah.
It's hard to say right now.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.